So in the past, with the videos that I have, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about, so I'd ramble about random things, like what was going on in my day, in my life, whatever. But today I actually have something to talk about. There has been a graphic going around on Facebook that is sort of an anti-bullying law thing that I do and don't agree with. I don't know, some of you may have seen it. Stop buzzing. My phone's going off a lot. I'm popular today. But basically it says that we should, instead of making all these anti-bullying laws, that we should teach our kids to stand up for themselves and to toughen up and be the aggressor instead, which I do and don't agree with. I mean, I'm all for teaching kids sensitivity and being aware of their feelings and aware of how the world makes them feel and all that stuff. Like, yes, it's a good thing to know how to assess your own feelings. And it's a good thing to stand up for yourself. It's a good thing to have confidence in yourself, to know that the things people are saying about you aren't true, and just to be, confident. But I feel like teaching them to stand up for themselves and be bullies back is not the way to go. We don't need a generation of aggressors, just like we don't need a generation of victims. I feel like we should teach them a nice balance between the two, and I feel like the only way to do that is to basically teach them that words are just words. Like, it's kind of like racism and sexism. The things that people take offense to in the word is given power because people take offense to it. I mean, I don't see the point in taking offense to anything. It's very difficult to offend me. It really is. You can talk about anything to me, you can talk about anything around me, you can call me anything you want. It's really difficult to make me offended because I know that the words, the things you're calling me, they're not true. I'm not a whore. I'm not a slut. I'm not a bitch. I'm not these things. I know I'm not. And that's all that matters. I don't care about your opinion of me. You know why? Because your opinion doesn't affect my life. It can, if I let it, but I don't. Plain and simple. So I feel like we need to teach our children that words are just words, and that we give them power. And that if you don't give them power, they don't mean anything. Like, that's just how I feel about it. And I also feel like we need to teach children confidence in themselves, because that's a big issue as well. Like, I've found that bullies pick on the kids who don't have confidence. The bullies have all the confidence in the world. They, think their shit doesn't stink. They're cocky, not confident. But I know that when I was in school, I would get picked on. It was because I was, self-conscious, not confident in myself at all. Didn't think I looked good. Didn't think I looked, I thought I was ugly. Thought I was a nerd. All these other things. And throughout the years and after my accident, I've slowly started gaining the self-confidence in myself to know that none of that's true unless I make it true, unless I let it be true. So I'm not bullied anymore by anybody, because nothing you say can affect me. It's the whole sticks and stones thing. So I don't know, that's just kind of how I feel about it. And a good way to kind of look at it, I guess, I don't know, a good way to remember all this and to, relate it, I guess, is something that actually was in the Game of Thrones series. I think it was in the first season, when Tyrion Lannister was going to the Wall with Jon Snow, and he's talking to Jon about being a bastard. He said, "Never forget what you are, the rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you," which is essentially what you need to do with anything. Like, if you speak with a stutter, or if you have some sort of birth defect, because Tyrion's an imp, and he accepts that. He wears it on his sleeve. He knows it. He's not afraid or ashamed to say anything about it. Not that it's really hard to hide the fact that you're an imp. But he doesn't care, because that's what he is. That's who he is. He is an imp, and there's nothing you can do about it. So he jokes about it when other people joke about it too. And it can't be used against you if you laugh at it as well. That's the whole bastard thing that he was trying to get through to Jon Snow. Like, instead of, being offended when someone calls you a bastard, be like, yeah, I am. So what? And stop real quick. It's kind of like if someone calls you a nerd, be like, yeah, and? Point is, my grade point average is better than yours. Like, okay, who cares? So, you just, I don't know, don't take offense. There's no point to it. The more offense you take, the more they're gonna poke, the more people are gonna get upset. Like, I truly and honestly believe that the best and worst thing about this country is the right to take offense. Like, it's great that you can be offended, but it sucks that you are. If everybody just stopped taking offense, if everybody stopped thinking that racial slurs, and stopped, process. I get really into this topic. I'm sorry. But if people, like, with racial slurs and gender slurs and sexist slurs, like, stop taking offense to it. So what, you called me a bitch. So what, you called me a cunt. So what, I called you a cunt. It's because you're being one. Like, if you're acting like one, then yes, I'm going to call you a cunt. You're not. That's fine. That's fantastic. Don't get upset with me because I called you one. I'm just simply stating that's what you're being at this point in time. I'm not bullying. I'm stating fact. Doesn't make it less true. Now, you're not. I'm not saying you are one. I said you're being one. There's a difference. Just like there's a difference between confident and cocky, there's a difference between being one and acting like one and being one. Like, I'm not saying you are. I said you're acting. So, but yeah, the whole confidence and cocky thing, that's a different story for a different day, I guess. Or I could just tell you right now because it ties in. So basically, my idea is that I'm confident. I may sound cocky at times, but I'm not cocky, I promise. The difference: cocky people think they're good and make sure you know it. Confident people know they're good and let you find out. I know I'm good at almost everything I try. I'll let you figure it out for yourself. I don't have to tell you. I don't care if you know. You can figure it out later. But that's my rant about bullying. It's stupid, yes. Bullying is. And I don't believe in it. And I think it's stupid and it just shouldn't be done in the first place. But saying that, we should teach our kids to stand up for themselves and to be the aggressors back is not the way to deal with it. And yes, we have to teach our kids that are the aggressors to be a little bit more sensitive and be a little bit nicer and stuff. Like, yes, that's something that needs to be taught as well. And yes, we need to teach our kids to have backbones. But you can't just pick a side and stick to it. Like, you can't pick, this debate is not about picking a side and going with it and only doing that one thing. It's about, and it's not even about going to the root of the problem, like with the children's parent backgrounds and stuff. Like, yes, that does play into it, but you can't, like, you could address every single, it's an individual thing if you do that way. You can address every single individual, but you need to address it as a whole first. And the whole is teaching kids to be confident and to not take offense. Plain and simple. Same day, just went on, it was cold. But basically, just give me more things to talk about like this. I like giving my opinions and telling you how I feel about certain things. So, opinions on, if you want to know my opinion on, a current event, point me in the direction of articles so I can read on it and give you my opinion on it. I'm currently working on forming an opinion about the whole Army sergeant that was released from Iraq being traded for 5 other captives. I don't know if they're Al-Qaeda or Taliban, I can't remember. I only read one article on it so far. But I'm working on learning more about it so that I can actually speak to it, because I have a lot of friends who have opinions on it and I want to be able to talk to them about it. So just give me topics to talk on, ask me for advice. I like helping people. So just help me help you.